floor Bowery walk-up apartment to a plush duplex penthouse overlooking Central Park West. A lifetime bounded on one end by a bleary-eyed, rancid-breathed mother, and on the other end by an overweight wife, two incredibly obnoxious children, and a different, high-gloss feminine companion whenever he felt the need for one, which was often. Of course, Alan Huddleston no longer felt the same seething animosity toward his mother that he once had. He realized now that, in many ways, his mother was responsible for all that he had become. Wasn't it she, after all, who had thrown him out of the house when he was 12, telling him it was time he started supporting himself? If it were not for her parental concern, he might very well have become just another parasite, leeching off society, in the proud Huddleston family tradition. He'd started small, naturally, nothing more than stealing an occasional purse or rolling a convenient drunk. But Alan Huddleston was someone who knew how to seize an opportunity and make the most of it. A man with a true sense of destiny. "Me, Penny Annie? No way, man," Huddleston was fond of saying. "There's nothing special about being fifth-rate. If you're going to make it in this world, you've got to know how to make it big." He was 15 when he joined Vincent Calabresi's mob, running numbers at first, then working as a wheelman on several still unsolved felonies. He could have become top muscle if he'd wanted to, but Alan Huddleston, as already noted, was ambitious. He wanted more. Much more. He spent his spare hours earning his high school equivalency diploma, then going to college part-time after that. Alan found he had a natural affinity for numbers, and when Vincent Calabresi finally decided it was time to go legit, Alan Huddleston was made one of his bookkeepers. He was head bookkeeper within a year, chief comptroller within 2, and at the end of 10 years had achieved a strong enough power base and had gained the support of enough of Calabresi's followers to throw the old man out and assume control of the whole operation. Calabresi protested this, naturally, but a severed brake line and a sharp bend on a twisting country road put an end to the old man's angry threats. Permanently. Under Huddleston's talented hand, the company flourished. It was Alan who had single-handedly arranged the merger with the Roxxon Corporation just 2 years before the oil shortage caused Roxxon stock to split twice in less than a month. The merger left Huddleston an executive vice president, one of 7. The other 6 were butt-licking sycophants, Harvard grads mostly, or the sons of other Roxxon alumni. All of them hovered around Madison Bell, Roxxon's senile old chairman of the board, like vultures, circling a dying man in the desert. Normally, it would have nauseated Alan Huddleston to have been counted among this company, but since his under-the-table business dealings had left him, for all intents and purposes, the uncrowned king of Roxxon, he considered the position little more than protective coloration. In point of fact, Alan's covert operations had provided him with a rather sizable nest egg, tucked away in several Swiss banks, enough, presumably, to delay New York's ever-imminent economic default for several months, at the very least. Realistically speaking, Huddleston had all the money he could ever possibly need in this life. But he also had one most unfortunate flaw in his character. Alan Huddleston was insatiably greedy. Thus, when the strange, stocky man with the soup bowl haircut and the thick, dark glasses had approached him regarding the possibilities of merging his resources with Huddleston's own, Alan had refused to diminish his already overstuffed coffers. That was several months ago. Now, Alan Huddleston was going to have to pay the price of his folly. God, he was tired. Huddleston glanced nervously at his watch, then pressed its tiny button to illuminate the time in the ruby darkness of the dial. 10:33. Not enough time. Not damned nearly enough time. For the 3rd time in less than an hour, he checked to make certain the folded envelope was still tucked safely in his jacket pocket. 2 hours and 15 minutes. If he could just remain safe for that brief period of time, his chauffeur, Carlisle, would arrive to drive him to Kennedy Airport, where an Air Carib jetliner would be waiting to fly him to the Dominican Republic. From there, it was only a speedboat trip to the small island Huddleston secretly owned off the Dominican coast. 2 hours.